Dear brother, dear sister, it's very important that we find in an environment that is increasingly becoming more secular, increasingly becoming more unhuman, increasingly becoming more distant from the human touch. We have to find people who are the people of the hereafter, meaning pious people, good people. What do I mean by people of the hereafter, brother? You have to understand that when I'm saying the hereafter, meaning to say that your motivation is not for any worldly gains. Your motivation is goodness for the hereafter. So you don't do anything to gain some kind of success. That's called a fictitious, phony kind of friend. And if you have a friend that is mixed in with this world, all they will do is to actually pull you down in it, and you will become a part of that cycle of resentment, running after the dunya. As Rasulullah ﷺ stated, he said, "Kun fi dunya ka'annaka ghariba wa abir as-sabil." So it is important for you, dear brother, is to know that be in this life as though you are a stranger or a wayfarer. It is important that you make these kinds of friends that love for you what they love for themselves, the hereafter, the more lofty goals. People can make any kind of friendship based on material interest, material gains. It's very important. So that's number one. So make friends for the hereafter. Very, very important that you have to actually hone into that one characteristic, that you make friends with people of the hereafter, good people, pious people. Number two, that you also don't become into disagreement continuously with your brother, or it could be between sisters, that you also have some agreement. You could think different things, but if you keep putting impediments in your relationship and keep actually causing harm onto your friend, continuously blocking him or blocking her by not even making a small agreements, thinking that, oh, just because they're my friends, I'm just going to have one over them. This is not the way to gain friendship, and this is not lasting friendship. So it is important that you also go along with agreement to a point, otherwise it will be constantly friction. Before you even say anything, he puts up a wall and then he goes at it again thinking that we are friends. This is not the way to actually make friends. Thirdly, you have to be very careful with envy. Your friend could be better than you in reciting the Quran, for example. Your friend could be better in making business. Your friend could be better in talking. Your friend could be better in language. Your friend could be better in writing, in kindness, and so many things. So it doesn't mean that you should actually now become envious. That's what Rasulullah ﷺ stated. Do not envy one another. It's important that this hasad is something that will burn, as Rasulullah ﷺ said, that burn good deeds like the fire burns the small little tinder, little pieces of wood. So it is important that we don't become envious. So that is number three. Number four, meaning to say that you don't make friendship based on envy, because it is not going to last, and it's also going to be rancorous as we actually go down the hall of time, because time will always tell. If a person is envious of you, they will always have this kind of animosity towards it, even hidden. There will be no comfort between you and them. So it's important that you make no envious gesture towards, and that's what Rasulullah ﷺ, he stated. He said to do not love things, and awqamaqal, meaning the statement is like that, do not love things that people have, and people will love you. So it is important that you don't always vie for what they have. Fourthly, that you that you make friends, or that you make brotherhood or sisterhood with dignified people. Imam Ahmad actually made a statement. He said, I have not been led into calamity. I have not been led into circumstances, for example, of danger or evil. So he's saying, I have not been led into calamity except by accompanying those before whom I did not feel any kind of shame. So, my brother, if you feel shame, if you don't feel shame in front of your friend, or try to hide your faults or something like this, have some kind of rapport with them, you will always fall into calamity, because there will be nothing to negate you from doing the wrong thing. So it is important that you have dignified friends, that you don't do foolish things, that you get up and, say vulgarity or act a funny thing, or do things that are illegal, and then you will think that, oh, it's okay okay that I can do it because my friend is next to me. So it is important there. So that's the fourth point. Find dignified people. Fifth is that you should find happy people. In one sense is that you should be happy for them and they should be happy for you when there's something good occurs in your life. And you should be happy and vice versa. So meaning to say that part of hypocrisy is that you feel happiness when somebody falls short or somebody actually falls into a sort of a dilemma or some kind of a problem. So you feel happy that, oh, why am I, this guy is in problem, so I feel sometimes I gloat over that. That is a form of hypocrisy. So you need to make friends that are feeling happy at when you feel happy, and they're clean-hearted. So important. So the fifth point is that you find happy people and that you find clean-hearted people that feel happiness at your happiness and they feel sorrow in your sorrow. Sixthly, that you should find people who should be able to give you sincere advice. Brotherhood is on sincere advice. Ad-din nasiha. That you should be able to give your friend nasiha, that you should be able to advise them. If you're unable to advise them, that means you do not have a true friend. Because if you cannot advise your friend, that means that's not a friendship. So if you're afraid to advise someone, that means you don't have friendship with them. You have some kind of a fractious relationship. You might think it could be also from cultural standpoint of view. If somebody's older, if somebody, that's a different thing. You shy away from it, but you can still give some kind of a soft advice so that they may be able to know. So it's important between at least like-aged people that you have people who have sincere ad-din nasiha. This religion is sincere advice. Nasah is the one who actually sews things together. So it is important therein that you do that. So that is the sixth one. Seventh is that you make friends with people, brotherhood with people who actually keep promises. Ayatul munafiqun thalatha, that the signs of the hypocrite are three. And one of them is that when he makes a promise, he breaks it. So it is important that you have a friend that actually keeps the promise. And if they can't, they tell you, I can't do that, can you help me? So they're with you in the time of sorrow. So it is extremely important, my dear brother, that you understand that when in time of sorrow and when in time of difficulty that you cannot make up the promise that you kept, you need to actually explain that. So friends are supposed to keep promises. It is important. Also, that was number 7. Number 8 is that you love your brother, you love your sister. Mu'adh radiallahu anhu, he said, those who love one another for my glory, meaning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated from the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, that those who love one another for my glory, there will be members of light, and the prophets and the martyrs will be vying for them, meaning will want to have the same for them. So it is extremely important, dear brothers and sisters, for my dear brother here, and it's a message also because they will be watching this video, to include the sisters, that it is extremely important that you have in your mind that you keep this kind of relationship, that you have this love. It has to be a love for the sake of Allah. You meet for the sake of Allah and you part for this. There's no other love better than that, meaning for the sake of God. Why do we all of a sudden, if you say for the sake of God, radical, fanatical, fundamentalist? It doesn't have to mean that. Even in Christian terminology, it's for the sake of God that you love people. There's nothing wrong in these religious terminologies. It's this secular idea that actually is eroding all of these lofty tenets that people have in their religious repertoire. They're actually lowering it to a degree that people think that, oh, we can't use these words anymore. Yes, love for the sake of God, because it will be a pure love. Ninth, that you have to actually come out of your comfort zone. It is very important for your brother and for your sister. You have to come out of your comfort zone. If they need you, you need to come out. You can't just be a brother just for the sake of, a brotherhood in drinking tea and talk and having chit chat. Or brotherhood because you have money, I have money. No. Brotherhood should be that you come out of your comfort zone for one another. That you sacrifice things for one another. You give money for the sake of one another. Just give it sometimes. If your brother is in distress, just give it. People think it's just loaning $500. No, give it. Real brotherhood, and we have seen it with our eyes. They just give everything, single thing they have. And I've seen it with my eyes, and I have experienced it myself. Given every single thing they have, here, take it. Like that. And that is a very That is a very deep feeling that one has, that you have these kind of people behind you. That actually what gives you comfort, because usually people are lonely. They said in the crowd, that's the most time when people actually become lonely. So it is important that we give. Sometimes just give. You have 2 cars, somebody is struggling, and you just give a car away. Really, that's not that great. Because if you really want to talk about Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they shared their family also. They shared their house. They shared their wealth. They shared every single thing. They said, take it, go, not even half, sometimes take it all. So it is important that and nowadays you'll find that very far and few between. But if you can make a friend like that, that is a friend to have, and you hold on to it. And Ali radiallahu anh said, he said, unfortunate are the people who don't make friends, close friends. But the more unfortunate are the ones who actually make them and lose them because of their deeds. So then again, you have to go back to the akhirah kind of mode, you see. So come out of your comfort zone. Your brother should be able to come out of their comfort zone, and same with your sister should be able to come out. You should be able to talk it out, and should not have that, oh, she said this, what did he mean? Oh, I didn't like it, he was like this, or she was like that. This thing has to come out. It has to be eradicated. You have to start with a fresh slate. There always have to be friction. Don't think that close brotherhood will not have friction. Mu'adh radiallahu anhu had friction. Abu Darda radiallahu anhu had friction. Abu Dhar al-Ghifari radiallahu anhum jami'an, that they had friction with each other. But it was not a friction based on dunya concern. It was friction based on akhirah concern. Based on also, some of them were short-tempered. But they would keep the temper, but sometimes they would tell the truth. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anh was told by Ammar ibn Yasir, you have built this house. You have overextended your hope. And his house was a little cottage. I mean, not even a cottage, a little mud hut. You have overextended your hope. You think you're permanent in your life. Meaning to say that he's putting his friend back to say, listen, come back to the akhirah, because this is what makes us great, right? So number 10, you have to have brothers and sisters who really come and become friends to you. Friends. There's a statement by Albert Hubbard, who said, it's a nice statement. He said, friend is the man who knows all about you and still likes you. You see? And still likes you. Another man said, a good friend is like a good egg. He still thinks you're good, even if you're half cracked. So it is important, dear brothers and sisters, that we actually have that. So it is important in our lives that we actually keep with that, inshallah. These are the 10 points. Make people of akhirah as your friends, as your brothers. Come out of your comfort zone. Give what you can give. Be a pillar of strength for them. Do or die, you are there with them. That you don't neglect them. You don't break your friendship with them. And even if there's some kind of a major struggle between you and your fight, you should actually come together, talk, and become better friends down the road. This kind of phony, fictitious, furtive friends are no good for anybody, not even good for society. That's the worth of the person that is really driven to have close friends. And when you have close friends, you also actually comfort yourself. It is when you light the path of your brother, you see your path more clearly. It is important there. So I hope you understand that. I hope, inshallah, that I have conveyed these points. So take these points seriously and see if you can find and be that friend. Not if you can find that friend, but be that friend. Teach this to people. So try to actually do that. Sometimes just take out whatever you have and just share it with somebody. And then, go ahead. And you don't have to get gratitude back. Oh, I didn't get credit. No, you should. You should not work for that kind of end. You should do that, inshallah, and be that friend that you want to be, that you want to have for somebody else, and inshallah, you will find that. Go out of your comfort zone, inshallah, and do it today, and there's a better world for everyone, inshallah. May Allah bless you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and take care of yourself.